Hey friends! So as many of you know, I pretty much live, eat, sleep, and breathe internet. I've been making YouTube videos for almost 8 or 9 years. I've had viral videos like Shit White Girls Say to Black Girls. I now host MTV's Decoded. But before all of that, I actually got my start working as a graphic designer. I've worked for all different types of brands. I did design for Ann Taylor and Maybelline and L'Oreal, the City of Miami Beach Chamber of Commerce. With all of that, I've made a bunch of mistakes and I've learned a lot of things too. So here are 5 mistakes that artists make, and most of these are things that I have made myself. And there is a truck. Hey, I'm making a video. Thank you. Number 1, work for free. When you make the decision to be an artist, no matter what kind of artist that is, there are going to always be people who want to take advantage of your talent, and that sometimes includes friends and family. And if you want to make a commitment to making your art your career, you have to say no. You cannot work for free. If you're investing your time and your art into something, your work has value. So do not work for free. You're gonna get a lot of people who say, oh, you're gonna get a lot of exposure. Exposure does not pay bills. So don't work for free. And when it comes to getting paid for your work, you always want to make sure that you ask for at least half of your payment up front. This is really important because what if that person goes out of business and suddenly they can't pay you for all the work that you just did? Or they're just an asshole and they decide that they don't want to pay you. At least you got half of it up front. Number 2, work without a contract. I don't know how to write a contract. You have to have something in writing. So send them an email and say, I am doing X, Y, and Z for you, and you are going to pay me on this date, and it is going to be this much, and we are going to have check-ins on this date, and this date, whatever it is that is going to make sure that the relationship is clear and that the payment schedule is clear. That's a really big one. But if you are, an artist in the traditional sense, like a graphic designer or an illustrator or something like that, I do have a recommendation for contracts. This awesome book, the Graphic Artists Guild Pricing and Ethical Guidelines, comes out every year, and basically it has the average pricings for lots of different things, like creating a letterhead or a logo or stationery. And then the thing that's really, really cool is it has sample contracts. Like, this is a sample purchase order, and it explains to you when you would need that. So this is a really great gift for the artist in your life to make sure that they don't get screwed. Always make sure that you have something in writing so that you can get paid. Number 3, don't have some sort of online presence. Now, I was not gonna make a video without giving some love to social media. Social media has been a huge part of my career, and these days you can reach so many people for little to no money. With YouTube, you can actually make money off of your content. So if you are an artist or a brand or a small business, you definitely need to have some sort of online presence. Now, there are so many social media websites out there, and it can be very overwhelming, but I would say your best bets are Twitter and Facebook. Those are the ones, hands down, that you should at least be on. The number 1 is you really should have your own website. My own website? That's expensive. I don't know HTML. You don't need to know any of those things. The cheapest way to do it is to go buy yourself a domain. You can buy one for $5 or $10, get your name or the name of your business, buy a domain that really represents you and what you do, and then get a Tumblr for free and then point that domain address to your Tumblr. And you can use your Tumblr not as a blog, but almost like a portfolio site. So you can upload some pictures of your work or your writing samples or videos or your photography or whatever it is. You want to have some sort of presence so that when you meet potential clients, or you put it on your business card or in your email signature. Listen, I have tips for days. But you want to have that website readily available so that people can find you. Number 4, don't watermark or sign your work. Now, this is one that I have learned the hard way. As you can see, I have my Twitter handle in the bottom of almost all of my videos these days, and that's because I have had too many videos stolen and re-uploaded either to Facebook or to people's own sites, and that is stealing. That loses money for me, and it is so frustrating when a GIF goes viral of one of my videos and it doesn't have my name on it. No one knows who I am. So we're seeing a lot of this these days where people are stealing people's artwork and reposting on Twitter or Tumblr or Facebook, all for, you know, the likes, the rebinds, whatever, and the original artist ends up getting screwed. So do not let that happen to you. You want to make sure that your name or your Twitter handle or your website is somewhere on your work. The bottom corner is a good place, but there are people that are shady and will crop your Twitter handle out. If you are a visual artist, my best advice is to put your signature somewhere that's visible. You know, you might want to hide it, like in here or something like that. That's gonna make it look ugly. Honestly, it's not that big of a deal. It's worth making your work ugly so that you can be credited and that someone else does not make money or build a brand or a presence off of your work. You want to maybe like adjust the opacity a little bit so it's kind of translucent, and at the end of the day your work will speak for itself, but you definitely want your name to speak even louder. Number 5, and this is the biggest, most important one, is I see artists talking down to themselves or discrediting their work. I see it all the time when I meet people and I say, what do you do for a living? And they say, sometimes I make stuff and like it's not really that good. You need to stop that right now. You have to be your biggest cheerleader. Otherwise, how are you going to get opportunities? Someone has to advocate for you, so it should be you. Now, you don't want to be cocky and brag all the time, but the least you can do is take pride in your work and say, yes, I am a singer and I'm currently working on my first EP, or I'm a cartoonist and my website is blah blah blah, or whatever it is. You cannot talk down to yourself and expect to become successful. It's just not gonna work. I get it. I'm self-deprecating from time to time, but I think people don't realize that when they talk negatively about themselves and their work, it starts to take a toll on you and it becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy. You start saying your work's not very good or no one's gonna like it, you're never gonna get anywhere. Yeah, guess what? That's gonna start to happen because you have, you know, manifested that for yourself. So those are the 5 biggest mistakes that I see artists make, and I know there are tons more. So if you are an artist or an aspiring artist, tell me in the comments below what are some mistakes that you've made or you've seen other people make, and some of your advice for other young aspiring artists. I'm gonna be hanging out in the comments. I hope that you will too, because I'm sure there will be a lot for all of us to learn and share. Okay, I just want to make sure that my voice is going to be part of this video because that would be really nice. You can find me all over the internet. As you know, I love Snapchat. All of my links to my social media are in the video description box. Please follow me and don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you when I see you. Bye! When I'm not making videos on this channel, you can find me all over the internet. I host a podcast called Last Name Basis with my husband. I host MTV's Decoded. I sometimes make hair videos. And most recently, I was on TAWK show with Akwafina from MTV's Girl Code. You can click on screen to check any of those things out or in the video description box.